Yo, what's up, y'all? I know we just got done talking about how Drake's crew was out here bragging about that so-called win against Nav, like that was some huge W they needed to wave around, and how it only showed how desperate they've been getting. Well, guess what? The story don't end there. Drake's folks are still at it, trying to push forward with this Nokia single, while also stirring up hype wherever they can. Problem is, the more they do, the more it feels like they're covering up a real fear that Kendrick Lamar is about to pop out again and snatch all the attention. I'm going to pick up where we left off last time, except this time, I want to explore how the Nav fiasco might actually be part of Drake's broader attempt to dominate the conversation before Nokia drops. It's like they realized the general rap audience isn't automatically hype about Drake's new track, so they stirred up a bunch of drama with Nav, hopped on socials to claim victory, and now they're hoping that carries them to a big release day. But if you ask me, it might backfire in a big way, especially if Kendrick steps up soon. Let's get into it. So, after that whole Nav situation, you might figure Drake's squad would calm down, pat themselves on the back for that win, and get to work on dropping Nokia. But no, apparently, they're still all over social media talking up random half-baked beefs trying to flex. The new angle is they're saying they proved no one wants problems with Drake, not even Nav. But let's be real, this is purely for show. We saw how they made a big deal out of nothing last time. Now they're dragging out that hype as if it's actual momentum leading up to Drake's next single. What cracks me up is how folks in OVO act like they run hip-hop, yet they keep targeting artists who either don't matter in the big picture or never claim to be tough in the first place. It's no secret Drake's brand is mainstream pop rap, more about catchy hooks than raw bar-for-bar showdowns. So why is his crew acting like some unstoppable force? Last time I checked, the rap community was more impressed by how Kendrick's quietly prepping another wave than any of Drake's petty scuffles. Let's talk about Nokia for a second. Drake been hyping it for weeks, dropping hints that it'll be a massive success. In the past, that's all he'd need. Say a new track's coming, fans get excited, it shoots up the charts. But right now, there's a vibe that Drake might not be so sure he can do it alone. Why else would OVO keep stirring the pot with minor controversies? They want every eyeball on Drake's corner so that when Nokia finally drops, folks pay attention out of sheer curiosity. But I'm wondering if that curiosity might not translate into a real W if the track isn't up to par. Because once the hype from the drama fades, people still gotta like the music. If the single is just another mid-level Drake release, fans might spin it for a week, then bounce. Meanwhile, if Kendrick jumps back in the picture with a dope music video or new snippet, it could overshadow Drake's entire rollout in a heartbeat. That's the bigger threat, and I see OVO trying to distract from it by bragging about random wins, like the Nav fiasco. One angle folks haven't talked about, the Nav drama, might actually do more harm than good. If you're a casual rap fan and you see Drake's crew going off about how they won a beef with Nav, it just looks corny. Like, that's the best you got? Meanwhile, the real battle in hip-hop is seeing if Drake can top the charts and keep that spot when heavyweights like Kendrick or Cole or even Tyler come through. Fans start rolling their eyes at these forced feuds with lower-tier artists. Plus, if people realize Nav never even truly dissed Drake in the first place, they'll figure out that OVO's blowing hot air, claiming a victory where there wasn't even a real fight. That kills the hype. Instead of folks saying, man, Drake's unstoppable, they're saying, man, Drake's folks are grasping for anything right now, talking about Nav. Kinda embarrassing if you ask me. I gotta circle back to Kendrick, because from the rumors, he's finishing up some big visuals, maybe for a track we haven't heard yet, or maybe for an extended cut of a snippet we caught at the Super Bowl. Either way, the second Kendrick actually drops a teaser or official announcement, Drake's Nokia hype might vanish. We saw how quickly people shift attention. If they used all their ammo on petty feuds, they might not have enough left to stand out when a real giant steps in. Remember how last time we said Kendrick might overshadow Drake if he times his release with Nokia? That's still a huge possibility. The rap crowd is waiting for something fresh from K-Dot. So if Drake's biggest storyline is still them bragging about bodying Nav, folks are gonna laugh once Kendrick shows off some next level creativity. The conversation's gonna move away from Drake in seconds. Let me keep it 100. I ain't even mad that Drake's crew wants to build hype. That's the name of the game in showbiz. But picking fights with random artists, then celebrating we forced him to apologize, or he's scared of us, is just childish. That's not how you hold your status at the top. If Drake wants to truly remain that big dog in rap, he should be dropping quality music that proves he can keep up with the Kendricks and the Coles, not bragging about shutting down a non-existent Nav diss. Sure, I'll check out Nokia when it drops, but if it's just another catchy tune with no real evolution, I don't see it dominating for long. Meanwhile, if Kendrick's new visuals are as deep and storyline driven as usual, that's going to keep rap fans talking for days. We see it every single time. The dissecting, the theories, the hype. Drake's formula is more shallow, so if he wants to compete, he should put his energy into leveling up that aspect, not into these petty battles. I wonder if the reason OVO keeps these controversies alive is to buy time till they can refine Nokia into something bigger. Maybe the track wasn't ready, or maybe the video's behind schedule, so they feed fans with these comedic feuds to keep them busy. That's a risky strategy if what eventually drops doesn't live up to the hype. People might feel like they got played, waiting through nonsense only to get a mid-track. Meanwhile, every day they wait is a day closer to Kendrick's rumored release. We can't forget the possibility that Drake's also dealing with label politics, clearing samples, big cameo scheduling, or whatnot. But from the outside, it looks like they're stalling with hype that doesn't impress the real rap heads. If Nokia is truly a banger, maybe it can overshadow all the petty stuff. But I sense a kind of panic in how they keep pushing these side stories. We all saw last time how Nav apparently said he didn't mean to diss Drake, or that fans misheard the lyric. So logically, that should end the conversation, right? But Drake's fans are still running with it, claiming a W, talking about how this proves folks are scared to cross OVO. I suspect it'll fade away soon unless Nav responds again or actually drops some real bars. But from what I see, Nav doesn't seem interested in continuing it. He's probably just laughing at how big a deal they made of a misheard line. If the Nav beef goes on, it'll basically be OVO talking to themselves. Most rap fans are waiting to see if Drake versus Kendrick Part 2 happens. Ain't nobody really yearning for a Drake versus Nav showdown. That's not the main event. It's like a low undercard fight people watch just to pass the time. The second a heavyweight steps in, that undercard is forgotten. So how does this tie back to Drake's ongoing worry about Kendrick? Well, I figured Drake wanted Nokia to be uncontested. Then, word spread about Kendrick filming a big project with the NX car and all, and Drake realized his single might get overshadowed. So maybe the OVO folks thought, we gotta keep people talking about Drake no matter what. Let's blow up this Nav stuff. But that approach is short term. The moment Kendrick reveals a snippet or a teaser, the talk moves to him. If Drake's single was truly unstoppable, he wouldn't need all these side controversies. He could just drop it, watch it rise. It's telling that they've gone out of their way to maintain hype through side battles. And if we find out Kendrick's dropping around the same time, I wouldn't bet on Nokia being the main topic of conversation. It might chart fine, but the rap crowd is more engaged by deeper visuals and bars these days. That's Kendrick's lane. I said it before, I'm from a place where bars and authenticity matter. Drake's music can be catchy, but I'd rather see him step up his game instead of bragging about how they defeated Nav. That doesn't show strength, it shows insecurity. If they were truly on top, they'd be ignoring Nav entirely, focusing on outdoing bigger threats like Kendrick. Instead, they're locked in petty mode, which usually signals that the well of real achievements is running low. Do I think Nokia can still be a success? Sure, Drake's a big name, and mainstream fans will always stream his new stuff. But if we're talking about the heart of rap culture, folks are more intrigued by what Kendrick's cooking. Once he drops, he might sweep the discussion, leaving Drake's new single overshadowed. And that might be the reason OVO's pushing these small stories so hard. They can sense that wave coming. At the end of the day, we're in a weird spot. Drake's camp is boosting minor conflicts, like the so-called Nav diss, to distract from the fact they might be worried about bigger threats. They want to keep the hype around Drake's Nokia, but it's coming off messy. Meanwhile, Kendrick's rumored moves loom in the background. The question is, will Nokia drop soon? And if so, does it truly slap enough to hold the top spot once Kendrick shows up? I guess we'll find out soon. But from my perspective, the more they brag about small-time wins, the weaker they look. If Drake's new single is genuinely amazing, it'll speak for itself. If it's not, all these petty headlines about Nav or whoever else won't save it from fading fast, especially if Kendrick delivers a deeper, more memorable project. Let me know what y'all think. Is Drake just killing time till Nokia is ready? Or is he genuinely trying to hype up small beefs to mask bigger concerns? And do you expect Kendrick to drop soon, possibly overshadowing the entire Nokia rollout? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like if you're tired of OVO's side stories, and don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of who's really winning in this rap drama. The moment something official drops, be it Drake's Nokia or a Kendrick teaser, I'll be back with another breakdown. Till then, remember not to get lost in the petty hype. Real heads see through that. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.